You like cinematic video games that are more akin to interactive movies than actual games themselves. Which probably means you're also heavily drawn to Naughty Dog titles like Uncharted and The Last of Us and hate when your Metal Gear Solid cutscenes are interrupted by actual gameplay. You're the kind of person who prefers beach holidays over jungle treks or woodland hiking. You also have a special fondness for crabs and would probably enjoy yourself at an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet and a Japanese sushi bar. You like hanging around in graveyards and collected creepy crawlers as pets when you were a child. It also reminds you of the first time when your family discovered fire and really resonates with you for that reason. You can't often tell the difference between scorpions and earwigs, but you don't care either way because you either love them or hate and really want to exterminate the little bastards. You also prefer levels that don't really stand out for whatever reason. You really enjoy researching ancient civilizations. Your idea of a dream holiday is a trip to Nanmadol or Machu Picchu. You probably also want to replicate this big beautiful wall on your southern border and make Mexico pay for it. The only reason you brought this game was to see Big Monkey. Therefore, when you finally do see Big Monkey, you breathe a huge sigh of relief and don't care about how little actually happens in this level because Big Monkey. You're the kind of gamer who is into role-playing games and is highly likely to get distracted by the side quests rather than progress the main story because despite being called on Kong's tracks, you're actually chasing a bat and not Kong himself. You really do appreciate underrated levels in gaming and love 1930s gangster films because this is the level where you finally get the Thompson submachine gun. You also like to hide from your enemies and cheese them because they are actually very dangerous. Your favorite movie of all time is the original Jurassic Park, and your favorite scene from that movie is when the T-Rex first appears and starts attacking the children and the jeeps. You are also an adrenaline junkie who loves straight in your face danger. You prefer games with plenty of combat but without any actual challenge and would rather be equipped with the machine guns right off the bat. You also dream of running to ladies' rescue one day even if you always fall a little bit short. At this point you're absolutely sick of being pushed around and lack of Big Monkey, and so will always take the opportunity to instead start pushing others around as Big Monkey by slapping the shit out of smaller and weaker creatures. You're the exact kind of person who Jurassic Park writers are catering to every time they reveal a sauropod on screen with awe-inspiring and wondrous music, even though it's already a worn-out trope within the franchise by now. You often have trouble taking the lead in video games and would prefer to go at the pace of your allies because very little of this level actually gives you any agency and is done in the service of reuniting with your useless NPC buddies. You're the kind of gamer who is drawn to survival horror games and get an absolute thrill out of shitting yourself. You also probably recognize that good horror comes from actual tension rather than relying on absolute shitty fucking jump scares. You are probably the kind of person who is good with children because looking after the NPCs in this level can be a serious fucking pain and can only be endured by someone with the patience of a saint who doesn't mind working with children and animals. You enjoy gaming when everything comes to you rather than you actually going to do anything yourself because you are stuck on the river raft. But because this is a video game, you accept some action scenes are still needed, so bugs. You are probably one of those people who not only enjoys being scared by highly tense non-winnable situations but also actually read the original Jurassic Park novel by Michael Crichton. You also think this would be a good ride at Universal Studios Florida. By now you're sick of being scared by unkillable enemies and have so desperately wanted to beat the crap out of Skull Island's alpha predator as a giant gorilla. You also probably only bought this game so you get the experience of monkey vs dinosaurs. You probably loved the Australian Giga Chad that was Steve Irwin and see this level as the closest you will be to becoming an actual crocodile hunter yourself. You also enjoy watching the movie Shrek because let's face it, who wouldn't love their own private swamp? You enjoy playing as a giant gorilla but still haven't quite gotten enough of beating up dinosaurs and bats. You also don't mind letting a woman take the lead because much of this level is centered on letting and show you the way. You are most likely a gaming chud who enjoys meme speedruns because there is otherwise nothing to this level. Your only suggestion for improvement would be that it could only go on longer or actually include the insect pit sequence from the movie. You like playing as Khan but don't enjoy the challenges of fighting giant bats and V-Rexes. Therefore you would much prefer slapping away little angry men because deep down you probably couldn't pick on someone your own size. Although you enjoyed the first V-Rex level, it didn't quite scare you enough. Therefore you now embrace the increased anxiety of not having weapons except for bones and spears. Your caveman ancestor was also probably an adrenaline junkie, Fred Flintstone. You're a lazy basement dweller who doesn't do much if you enjoy wandering through this damp, dark environment with very little sunlight shining through because there really isn't much to do with this level. Hooray for no responsibilities. You enjoy the classic Tomb Raider video games because nothing draws you in quite like shooting dinosaurs, exploring ancient tombs and killing ancient wildlife with attractive video game ladies that you know you wouldn't have a shot with in real life. You liked playing swamps but didn't think there were quite enough dinosaurs or boss battles. Therefore you now feel fulfilled to be back in a swamp killing dinosaurs and yet another giant fat bat that can tank a surprising amount of spears. You don't mind repetition in video games and prefer taking a safe approach because this is the third time where you're expected to offer yourself up as bait for the dinosaur. This entire story could be 40 of these levels and you still wouldn't complain. The Khan levels have been the real highlight for you in this game, and having the chance to fight multiple bosses in a single level just gives you a huge rush of energy and makes you feel like a true king. You've also never speedrun this game before. You are the kind of person who would honor a dying man's wish and ensure his surrogate student would make it out alive. You also enjoy the feeling of babysitting someone through dangerous situations but still haven't speedrun this game before. You really love the Silent Hill series because nothing gets you going like killing monstrous creatures on a mountain with nobody to help you. Chances are you also enjoy having a choice to either fight your enemies or avoid them. You love the atmosphere and aesthetic of the Silent Hill series but are often too scared to actually play survival horror games. Therefore you take great comfort in being able to simply run through this level without fighting anything. You enjoy playing as Khan but really appreciate the fact this level introduces enemies you never encounter elsewhere and enjoy standout levels that are unique among the rest. You also like beating your serpent at least 3 times a day. Your ideal holiday would be a slow riverboat through the canals of Venice but have never actually had the chance to do it before. You also understand that video games need action sequences and so accept being interrupted in your moment of solace by Big Monkey. You love backtracking in video games because this level is basically a reverse repeat of Haze, only you are going the other way this time. Nostalgia is also your middle name because you will start feeling nostalgic when you recognize the area. You enjoy Venotosaurus but thought it was a little bit too easy, so now you embrace not having a weapon to fight off a horde of dinosaurs and enjoy the challenge of survival while also getting your ass chewed out by these little bastards. You either really love tasteless nostalgia because there is nothing to this level beyond going back to where things started, or you're a speedrunner who loves the feeling that your run is finally almost over. You are drawn to games where you get to play as a monster destroying cities and get a sick twisted enjoyment out of destroying an impoverished people's village just for the sake of rescuing Naomi Watts. Not an unreasonable price to pay, to be fair. You are so glad that you're almost at the end of the game and have wanted nothing more than to get off Skull Island by now. You also don't mind slow walking sections in video games because there is nothing to this beyond moving closer to the NPCs. Much like Khan's capture, you are drawn to destroying cities and enjoy inflicting chaos on mankind. You're also probably an anarchist who wants to do nothing more than throw cars at the police and love turning peaceful protests into riots. You know when your battles are unwinnable but will still stand your ground until the very last minute because you absolutely refuse to surrender even when everything is set up against you and your death is very much inevitable. The only reason this could be your favorite level is because you've somehow found the experience of this game stressful and are glad to see it's over. You also don't like video games that much because this is actually a cutscene rather than level. You love the story of King Khan but really do wish that you could have saved the Big Monkey. Therefore you are absolutely thrilled at the chance to do so and also value rewards for actual 100% and appreciate this as the happier ending for the game.